I come bearing incredible tidings, fans of CSGO who wish to hell that it would come to console. Your dreams have almost been answered. Hello everyone, it's me, your host, Fatal. Welcome to ChronoCrits. Today we're taking a look at Warface Breakout. As I mentioned earlier, this is the brand new CSGO clone available on consoles. And I gotta admit, I'm surprised how good it is. To start things off, when I say it's a CSGO clone, I mean it's a CSGO clone. You even twirl and view your knife, you run faster with your pistol or your knife out, and everybody's always inspecting their goods when they should be aiming their guns. Standard CSGO practice. And for those of you who might not be familiar with CSGO, of which I suspect very few gamers of being in that category, it may now be forever recognized as the Counter-Strike formula. But the reason CSGO continues to be so popular this many years after it released is, in my opinion, due to three things. Number one, the simplicity. The addictive nature of the game makes it easy to just pick up, play a game, come off and play something else. Number two, people who've played it for a long time and get really good at it get addicted to the wins and get addicted to going for the stylish plays. Some of the best and most entertaining streamers of the world are CSGO pros. And the final reason I think is the meta. There's always going to be people trying to learn new tricks, trying to master guns that they wouldn't normally use, and there's always people trying to push themselves just a little bit further, get just a few more kills, have just a little bit more success. And for me, that kind of rounds off why CSGO has remained so popular, why Counter-Strike in general has remained so popular all this time. Which brings us to Warface Breakout, the console Counter-Strike, as I've already said twice. And it really is. The simplicity of CSGO is all there. The game is exclusively attack and defend. You want to plant a bomb or you want to stop someone from planting a bomb. Couldn't be simpler. Bullet damage is considered higher than, say, Call of Duty, but I noticed a few inconsistencies where I'd waste a few people in a couple shots and then an entire clip would somehow magically not bring someone down, but I could chalk that one up to latency issues, and we'll get to that. The way the game works is that you start each round with not a lot of money, and you're probably going to be using either a pistol or a knife or maybe an automatic pistol until you earn some more money to buy better guns. Each round you play gives you credits, which you can then spend at the start of the next round on a different weapon or on equipment like frag grenades, smoke grenades, and flashbangs. And thankfully, you won't really have to grind very long. Have a couple of moderately successful rounds and you can afford any weapon, which I appreciate. Better than that is that if you don't die, you can take that weapon into the next round, which is appreciated because if you die a lot, you'll find yourself spending credits just replacing the gun that you already bought. As I mentioned before, having your knife out makes you run faster, but the general speed and pace of the game as a whole is somewhat slower than, say, Call of Duty, but maybe a little bit faster than something like Rainbow Six Siege. It's not uncommon to see people chasing you down with a knife a la CSGO to try and get that delightful one-hit kill of stabbing someone from behind. It's not easy to do when the other team is alert, but it's very satisfying to pull it off. But the way the game is set up is delightfully simple and team-oriented whether you want to be a team player or not. You can lone wolf it to a degree, but the game is always going to be pushing you to succeed in the objective, which is to eliminate the other team or detonate/stop the detonation of a bomb. Scoring is fairly easy, get kills and try and get the MVP award at the end of the round, but you can also get the MVP award for planting/defusing a bomb, so it's refreshing to see that kind of attention being put on people who are actually going for the objective rather than the glory. And numerous times did I pick up an overall MVP award for the game as a whole, just because I was consistently playing the objective properly and consistently landing kills when I needed to, rather than hunting people down like a crazy kill-hungry warrior. It's early in the game's life, but I've already seen crazy running gunners get absolutely melted by people who are playing the game as it was intended to be played. One unfortunate side effect of that, though, is that a lot of people are quitting the game early, even though the game pleads with you not to quit for the sake of your teammates and the sake of the credits that you've built up throughout the game. A lot of people are still quitting when they die, because this is a die and stay dead mode. You don't get multiple lives, and you don't get regenerating health. This takes itself seriously, even though, like I said earlier, the bullet damage can be a little inconsistent. You want to aim high in this game. Upper body shots and headshots will do the most damage. Spraying down someone's legs, you could find yourself wasting an entire clip. Although, as I mentioned earlier, sometimes that can happen on chest shots as well, so there is some latency to discuss. But before we go on to that, let's talk visuals. No, it's not going to blow anybody away. No, it's not going to win any awards for its graphical prowess, but for what it is, it's fairly competent. There's nothing ugly about it, it's just kind of standard, and that's all you can really ask for in a game that's this size that has such an objective, simple gameplay loop. I mentioned the music, so in terms of sound, there's not a lot of extra points going towards that. However, the sound effects of the guns is satisfying enough. Punchy pistols, loud rasping LMGs, it's very satisfying. In terms of glitches and performance issues, I'm afraid to say this is where we're going to have to get a little more negative. This game definitely needs considerable amounts of work. Latency is atrocious. There can be points where someone kills you and they only just appeared, and they've somehow hit you with about 6 shots, even though on your screen a second ago you weren't even looking at them, let alone getting shot by them. And it wasn't even a headshot that killed you, so it can definitely be a little demoralizing to be in a situation like that. The latency issues probably will get worked on. This is a brand new game, but as it stands at the moment, this is a terribly unbalanced game via latency. One moment you'll be laser pointing people, feeling like it's the greatest game in the world, and the next you'll feel like you're shooting a water gun at a shark for all the good it's doing you. Situations like this certainly can be frustrating, but thankfully they don't completely pull you out of the game, because the next round might not have that lag. But I have to, in all honesty, mention this because it is a problem, and a lot of people are going to play the game and immediately be put off by the fact that this can sometimes happen. Hopefully this is looked at fairly quickly and we don't have to deal with a long-standing issue that makes the game unplayable, and it makes the player base disembark before it even got off the ground. But what are you actually playing for? Well, playing matches, you can sometimes unlock loot boxes. Yes, dirty word, loot boxes. But just like CSGO, these are all cosmetics. You can change the scopes on your gun to fit your playstyle, but none of it adds any more damage, supposedly. And I definitely didn't notice a change between using any different scopes. So there's no meta to be found in terms of tweaking your gun for the perfect loadout. Maybe certain scope magnification will help you, but ultimately the game comes down to gun skill, which is refreshing. But the loot boxes, as I mentioned, are all cosmetics, and some of them actually pretty cool. Some people might be put off when they go to download the game to see that it is absolutely 100% crawling with microtransactions. You can spend your hard-earned money on credits to go into the online shop and buy all the flashy skins that you want, but for the most part it's not too intrusive. It doesn't ask you to spend money, it simply gives you the opportunity and gives you that option, which is again something that is kind of annoying when a game like this is already so simple, but because the game is so simple, I can understand why part of the overall long-term meta will be the camos and which ones are the hardest to find and which ones are the best looking. So I can see why they've done it, but I can't see myself thinking that any of the camos I've seen so far are worth actual money. But again, that could be entirely down to opinion. Warface Breakout is a good game. It's nothing overly special, but there's promise here. I'm not sure how much of it I'm going to play, but I'll definitely be looking to re-review the game in the future if the latency issues and inconsistencies with the performance are ironed out. Because this could be a fun little game, or it could end up being a monstrosity on Xbox and PlayStation that leads to, again, a whole new gaming meta for CSGO fans who might have gravitated towards console, and vice versa. Gun inconsistencies aside, I recommend the game. There are problems, and it's certainly nothing special, but when you weigh up all the pros and cons and the fact that the game is only £16 or $20, I can't help but give it a seal of approval. This has potential to be a rare or maybe even an ultra rare with some work, and I'll definitely be keeping my eye on it to see what the future holds. But don't forget, an uncommon card from me represents a slightly better than average game, so it's nothing to be sniffed at. If you have £16 spare and you've been looking for a CSGO fix on console for years and years, this could be exactly what you're looking for. I'm tempted to hold off on awarding any prey pins for this one because I'm not sure just how long or how short people will play it. It all depends on what gets added and what gets fixed. But in its current state, with the current number of maps, I can still see myself coming back to this quite a few times, so I'll give it a safe option and award it the bronze tuna. This is a decent sized experience, and it's probably going to fill up any gamer worth his socks for a considerable number of hours. And like I said, an uncommon card is nothing to be sniffed at. So combining a seal of approval uncommon card with a bronze tuna, you can't go wrong with this one, certainly not for £16/$20. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for this review. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. As I mentioned on Twitter, I was supposed to be reviewing The Rise of Skywalker today. I'm postponing it so that I can get one final viewing in. I hope you understand that the integrity of my review means a lot to me, and I want to make sure I'm doing everything, however good, however bad, complete justice to the best of my ability. And thanks everyone who turned out to my welcome back stream last night. If you didn't happen to catch it, no worries, there'll be plenty more. Thanks so much you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Oh look, some brave humans. Some brave foolish humans. Some brave Munchy munchy. Munchy, 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 munchy. Yes, flail and scream. Don't, try and get to the shore or anything. Yes, flail and scream. Oh, it's true. You guys are all safe on the shore. Oh, psych! Oh, munchy, munchy. And row, row, row your boat into my mouth. I'm gonna smash it down, and then I'm gonna eat you. Yes! Oh, that song was amazing. Destined to be a bestseller, a chart topper, and that human is munchy munchy goodness. Oh, and the kick is good. Did you see that shit? Hello, chunky woman. You are to be my dinner tonight. Now, I'm not even sure if I'm helping, but it feels like I'm helping. Endorsement received. Good teammate. Is that for me? Is that for me on my first ever game as a healer? No, 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 no. How can droids get mind control even though they have no mind? Well, that is a question.